Good evening. Please remain standing for the invocation. Almighty God, thank you for the privilege and honor of celebrating this milestone with these graduates, their families, and their friends. We are thankful to share in this life-changing event, underscored by many sacrifices each of these graduates have made and time and money invested in their education. Thank you for giving them the courage and the determination to reach their goals. May this event mark a new chapter in the lives of each graduate and an accomplishment which will allow them to make better lives for themselves and their loved ones. We ask that you please grant each graduate both the perseverance and the wisdom to use their skills and abilities to serve others, and may the sacrifices of these graduates have made serve as an example of what sacrifice and hard work can accomplish. Bless these graduates and their careers. Bless us and our community. In your holy name. Amen. Please be seated for the installation of the college mace. Our faculty chair, Ms. Tiffany Myers, was unable to be here with us tonight, but in her absence, we ask former faculty chair, Ms. Brandy Gore, to come forward and present the mace to the president for installation. The origin of the mace dates back to medieval times, when it was first used as a weapon. Forbidden the use of the sword, medieval European bishops were allowed to enter battle wielding a mace, often an iron or steel club designed to split armor. A symbol of authority, by the 16th century, the mace was embraced as a ceremonial object by colleges and universities. The college mace represents the authority vested with the college president to award degrees.
Well, good evening. I think we've certainly been blessed with good weather in the spring. You never quite know how it will turn out, but it's certainly a beautiful afternoon. It's a wonderful evening. This is going to be a momentous time in your lives, our graduates, and in the families that are there for you, have been there for you to support you along your educational journey. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, all Ozarka faculty, staff, and administration, it is indeed my pleasure to welcome our graduates, most importantly, your families and your friends to the 2016 Ozarka College Commencement Ceremony. I'd like to first recognize our members of the Board of Trustees that do so much behind the scenes to make all of this possible for graduates, for learners in our region. Their guidance and leadership allows us to serve our students, these graduates, throughout northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, and the rest of the state of Arkansas. We have students represented in just about every county, believe it or not, many of them distance learning, to the best of our ability. I'm grateful for their continued support and confidence they bestow on the faculty, staff, and administration. First of all, I'd like to introduce our board chair, Mr. Jack Yancey, who's on the stage in the official party this evening. Vice Chair, Mr. Ben Cooper. Board Secretary, Mr. Dennis Wiles. Trustee Bob Evans. Trustee Tim Gamble. Trustee Ryan Howard. And Trustee Darla York. These folks do so much to support us and support learning in North Central Arkansas, and I appreciate it if you'd show your appreciation to our Board of Trustees. I want to also recognize a couple of other very distinguished guests we're so pleased to have at your graduation, your commencement ceremony tonight. Representative Michelle Gray, our commencement speaker, on the stage with us, who I will more formally introduce very shortly. Also this evening, Representative James Sturch of District 63 of Batesville is here. Representative Sturch, we're proud to have you with us. Welcome. Graduates, we are proud and appreciative that you have selected Ozarka College. You do have many choices, particularly in this age of distance education, and we know that. We're proud you selected us to serve your educational needs, and we're equally excited to soon call you alumni. We hope you stay connected, and we hope you send your friends and family here, whether it's sisters or brothers or children or moms or dads. We serve everyone we can in North Central Arkansas, and we're very proud that you chose us. I sincerely hope that we have been able to meet your expectations. That's really my greatest fear, is that we'll fail you in some way, but you're evidence that we're doing something right. So we do hope that you're proud of your experience here, and you'll recommend Ozarka College as an alum to other folks in your circle of influence. I'd like to leave you with this thought that hopefully will relate to your futures. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit what you achieve by others' achievements, the examples you see them set, or their expectations of you. Dream big. Set very high goals and expectations for yourselves, beyond what you may think you're capable of at this point. You don't know where your life's journey will take you. I hope this accomplishment is not viewed, that you've achieved your graduation tonight, isn't viewed as an end state, but rather as a door to more opportunity, greater achievement, and continuing to advance your education. We wish you great health, happiness, and continued success. And again, we're very proud to have played some small role in your success and your being here tonight. Congratulations. Now I'd like to introduce our commencement speaker, Representative Michelle Gray. Many of us at Ozarka College know Michelle very well, because Michelle at one time served, don't know how many years, I should know that, as the business manager for the college. So she knows our college, your college, so very well. Representative Gray is serving in her first term in the Arkansas House of Representatives. She represents District 62, which includes portions of Izard, Sharp, Stone, and Independence County. For the 90th General Assembly, Representative Gray serves on the Legislative Joint Audit, Judiciary Committee, and the Committee for State Agencies and Governmental Affairs. Very important work. Representative Gray is a graduate of ASU and currently Chief Financial Officer for Gray Family Practice Clinic in Melbourne. She serves as Secretary and Treasurer, I believe she still does, for the Emergency Services Board of Izard County, and serves as Treasurer for the Single Parent Scholarship Foundation of Izard County. Michelle, Representative Gray, is a mother of five, most importantly probably, mother of five, and married to Dr. Adam Gray of Melbourne, who many of us know very well. So please join me in representing one of our own back home, Representative Michelle Gray.
Thank you very much, Dr. Daw. First of all, I want to start out by saying congratulations. I remember sitting in those seats almost 20 years ago. So congratulations. It's an amazing feat, what you've done to get here. And I look forward to what the future holds for you. First of all, I'm very humbled and honored to be here with you all tonight, to be chosen as the commencement speaker. I feel I'm just one of you. I'm one of everyone out here. And when Dr. Dahl asked me if I would be the speaker, the first thing that came to my mind is, why would they want me to do this? I accepted, and then I started trying to decide what I wanted to portray to you all. I went through many different, like canned speeches. What could I talk about? And finally it hit me, just be you. So I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to tell you what I tell you. You may say that's the worst advice I've ever gotten, but I hope you can take some piece of it and be successful. So what I wanted to talk about is success. And I know you've probably heard that word 100 times, but I'm going to personalize it for you. Success is defined as the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. So defining success for each of us individually can be very difficult. For some, success means being a stay-at-home mom, taking care of their children, making sure that they raise them to be healthy, happy, and independent. For others, It means making as most money as they can possibly make throughout their lifetime. And even for others, success means, if they're chronically ill, just being able to get out of bed each and every morning. So each of us has a different definition of what success means. And I know you here, especially since you're graduating, I hope you're successful. I know you will be successful. But we hear that word so many times, we don't stop and think, what does success mean to me? And honestly, when you do realize what that means to you, it may change 100 times throughout your life. And that's one of the most difficult things for me, has been to be able to change that definition and actually work towards it. So what I decided to talk about today, instead of actually what success is I want to talk about some of the obstacles that you may face to success, and how when you overcome those, you're a new person. You can be successful by overcoming those obstacles. So as I said, one of the biggest struggles is knowing when it's time to change that definition. So I'm going to start with a very personal story, and some people here that know me well know about this story. But I was born almost, we'll say 30 years ago, but it was more like 40 years ago, down the Sillamore Road towards Mountain View. I was born, and my mother, I hope she doesn't hear about this story, but I was born at my house. It was a trailer out in the middle of the woods. We had no running water, no electricity. My father was a mechanical engineer by degree. He had a 4-year college degree. But he chose to live at Sillamore, and he wanted to get off the grid and get away from the hectic life. So I grew up out 10 miles down Sillamore. We used an outhouse. We did not take showers. We were given a gallon of water that we were allowed to bathe with. The food that we ate all had to be homegrown. And I can remember days. So we talk about poverty in the legislature, and sometimes I think that not everyone understands what poverty really is. But I do, because I lived it. And there were times I remember being so hungry, we would have a garden outside. I'd go pick onions out of that garden when my father wasn't looking and eat them. So I think the first time that I ever remember setting a goal in my mind, I was 6 years old. Of course, by now I'm in school, I'm in first grade, and I see what my other friends are wearing. I see what they're doing, how they act. And it dawned on me, this isn't what I want for my life. This isn't what I want. Someday I think I might have kids. This isn't what I want for them. So at 6 years old, I remember my goal was, I want something different for my life. And so all throughout school, I worked towards, I'm going to get that college degree. I want to leave Melbourne. I want to do so much more. So that, to me, that was a sticking point, that my very first goal. And about the age of 35, I started asking myself what I really wanted out of life. And I remember telling my boss, Miss Tina Wheelis, that this is when I worked here at Ozarka, that all I do is work with numbers. I just move numbers around. And I didn't feel that was fulfilling what I was meant to do. Yes, I was an integral part of helping students like you graduate and go to college, but I felt that I could do more. So I started this whole soul-searching type journey, and my husband and I decided to open a family practice clinic here in Melbourne. That was a big decision. I left Ozarka. We started from scratch. I'd never worked a day in healthcare in my life, but decided that it was worth it. In order to get somewhere else in life, you have to take that jump. You have to take a risk. You might fail, but you'll learn something from that failure. You'll never know unless you try it. So, about 2 years into that, this is about 2 years ago, of course, I'm again thinking, I can do so much more. Yes, we've got the clinic. We're helping people be healthier. We're helping them in emergencies. But there's just something more that I'm supposed to do. And I remember telling myself that. About a week later, someone called me and asked me to run for office. It took me about 2 weeks to make that decision, and it's one of the best decisions that I ever made when I decided to say yes. I went from being able to help 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people do what I feel that I was born to do, which is help people be successful, help them achieve what they want to achieve. So thus my journey to being a state rep was born, and my journey to achieving what I felt was success was born. The second thing I want to talk about is positive outlooks. You know, that's one thing, people again that know me real well, I can be negative sometimes and always look for the bad. Anytime something happened, I would look, I can't believe that just happened, now what am I going to do? When I was campaigning, I was a nervous wreck. I couldn't stand up here and talk. I'd break out in hives, almost pass out. And all I was seeing was the obstacles to getting me to where I wanted to go. I was giving a speech one day. I was shaking. I had hives. I was in Ash Flat doing a Memorial Day speech. It was the first one I'd given. And I was so nervous. I'm going to mess up. What I thought were going to be 30 people there, I'll be embarrassed. Well, I walk in, there's about 300 people there, and I'm live on the radio. So I'm actually having to hold my right hand down. It's shaking so bad. I'm having to hold it with my left hand. And about halfway through that speech, it hit me. You know what? If I mess up, it's okay. It's okay. I'll learn from that, and we'll go on. You're never going to get anywhere if you don't try. And I decided at that point in time, from here forward, everything I do, I'm going to look for the positive side of it. I could have turned that, had I messed up, I could have turned that into something positive. So everything I do in the legislature, we don't always get everything we want passed. But when we fail, we learn from that. You go on. And sometimes you even realize that bill was terrible. It didn't need to go through anyhow. I'm glad that happened. I try and teach my kids, whenever something bad happens, let's look for the positive in it. You can turn it around. You can learn from it. So for me, that's another obstacle I had to overcome, was looking for the positive. And I learned just to put a smile on my face. It was hard because I think I've got permanent frown lines the other way. I put a smile on my face. I walked around, and it was amazing. Everything around me changed. Everyone's attitude towards me changed, and my attitude inside changed. So that's one thing I want to portray to you, is having that positive outlook. And failure can be a good thing. That's very important as well, and I know I've addressed it some already. I've got a quote here. Thomas Edison, failure can be a good thing. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. And that's the truth. You've got to keep trying. So, you want to be a risk taker. You want to do something to achieve what you believe is success. Don't be afraid of failure. Without that, we learn from that every time we go. And without failure, we wouldn't know what to do. I've got another quote here that I'd like to read. Courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not the absence of fear. So you have to be very courageous. You have to, be nervous. Whatever it is you decide to do, just know you can't do it without taking that risk. Had to make notes just in case I lost my place. There's one other story I want to tell. And I didn't ask permission to tell this story, but I can see this person in the audience. We have a student that's graduating who was in a very terrible accident several months ago. And this goes back to the positive outcomes and what can happen out of something terrible. I witnessed that accident and was the first one on the scene. See, I'm going to cry. This is terrible. But I was the first one on the scene, and we weren't for sure that this student would ever open her eyes again. My son at the time, one of my twins, 14 years old, was with me, saw the whole thing, and I climbed in the car with this particular person. He stood outside. He helped break the window so we could get her out. He even called my husband, who's a physician, and said, "This is serious. We need you up here now. Drop everything you're doing and come." And we ended up getting her life flighted to where she needed to go. And we're standing there, my son and I, just after it's all over, we're just standing there in awe. You don't know what to do. You can't move. And he said, Mom, I'm glad I was with you today. And I said, why is that? And he said, because I know what I want to do. I want to be an emergency person so I can help people. That's what I want to do. So that's one positive that came out of it. And another positive is every time you see this person, the attitude they have, this person would not have survived without that positive attitude. It's truly a miracle that she's here with us today, and I haven't asked permission, but I hope I can present her diploma today. But I will start with my conclusion and say, today is a new beginning for each and every one of you. It's a chance for you to take all the failures in your life and realize that without them, you might not be sitting here today. You need to thank God every day for those failures because they made you who you are. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone. I do it all the time. Don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone to achieve success, your definition of success in the future. And know that we may sometimes lose a battle, but we can still win the war. Always look for that silver lining. What you learn from losing that battle may help you win the next one. And most importantly to me is to reevaluate your definition of success quite frequently. I went many years without reevaluating. I reevaluate constantly now and make sure that I'm doing what I feel is best and towards that path that I ultimately want to achieve. Maybe that battle you lost taught you that your chosen path isn't right for you, as it was for me. At one point in time, I decided I was going to go to medical school. This was before I came to Ozarka. I went through all the classes, made straight A's, did great, and then I went and took the MCAT. And let's just say, if it could have been a negative number, it was close to a negative number. I was depressed for a little while, and then I realized, you know what? This isn't for me. This isn't for me. I love science. I loved all these things about it. I learned so much, but it's not for me. Or maybe you achieved success and feel that you aren't happy any longer. Whatever the case may be, you can always remember today, your graduation day, and know that you worked hard to achieve your goals. Be confident in who you are and in what you decide is your definition of success. I will end with a quote that I love. Now, mind you, this is not a scholarly quote. I hope each one of you remembers this quote. It's Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was. Thank you. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Thank you, Representative Gray. Ozarka College is fortunate to have instructors who love sharing knowledge, to impart that love of the subject to their students, and who make learning fun. This is what makes students want to learn, to excel, to pursue further education, and to be successful in life. We have one instructor who was selected by the students and her peers as the outstanding Ozarka Faculty Member of the Year. It's with great pleasure that I want to introduce one of Ozarka College's finest faculty members. Mac, will you please stand? Mac, as we lovingly call her, Ms. Sherry McKee McSwain. Let's all provide a round of applause for such a dedicated educator. Thank you, Mac. Will all candidates for the associate degree and certificates please stand? Dr. Dahl, the faculty and I present these candidates to you for the conferring of their respective degrees and certificates, as these candidates have met the requirements for graduation.
Graduates, you have been presented as having met all necessary degree or certificate requirements by the authority vested in me as the president of Ozarka College by the Ozarka Board of Trustees, by the Arkansas Department of Higher Education and the state of Arkansas. I confer upon you your certificate or degree with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto. Congratulations.
Okay, all graduates except for the first row, please be seated. Graduates of the first row, please come forward and make your way to the stage. Associate of Arts, General Education. Julia Faith Anglem, cum laude. Hunter Buchanan. Brendan J. Clements, cum laude. Dakota W. Dixon, magna cum laude. Ginger A. Dungan, cum laude. Clancy Aaron Ferguson, cum laude. Michaela Elaine Gross, cum laude. Dexter Holloway. Leah Cassandra Hutchinson. Clay Lawrence Jones, magna cum laude. Second row, please come to the stage. Ashley Kelly. Amber Michelle Lee, cum laude. Jordan Ray Mihalacek. Amber Lenora Merriam, cum laude. Seth Stapleton, magna cum laude. Lacey Cheyenne Turner, magna cum laude. Sherry Marie Best, magna cum laude. Sierra Danielle Winslow. Quinn Taylor Ziliak. Associate of Science Business, Robert C. Groves, cum laude. Tana Lynn Romine, magna cum laude. Associate of Science, Criminal Justice and Corrections, Felicia Michelle Burns, cum laude. Madison Ann Deloach, cum laude. Jenny Marie Dudra, cum laude. Vivian Franks, cum laude. Christina Nicole Headstream. Chance G. Morrison. Dennis James Tiernan, cum laude. Associate of Science in Education, Candace Rebecca Daling. Heather Lynn Goins, magna cum laude. Martha Marie Goins. Rebecca Jordan. Molly Elizabeth Taylor, cum laude. Amber Gail Young, magna cum laude. Associate of Science, Human Services, Brandy Dawn Clark. Rebecca Guthrie, magna cum laude. Angela Lee McCord, magna cum laude. Jeff McCord, magna cum laude. Kayla F. Meeker. Associate of Applied Science and Automotive Service Technology, Yolanda G. Verhage. Brantley I. Wallace. Associate of Applied Science and Business Technology, Carrie Nicole Brewer, magna cum laude. Kaylin Dawn Bullock, cum laude. Olivia C. Epps. Ashley L. Madden. Skylar Chantel Madden, magna cum laude. Diane R. McCord. Evan Williams, cum laude. Associate of Applied Science and Culinary Arts, Malcolm Ashlock. Megan Elizabeth Cooper. Rebecca Dawn Glenn, cum laude. Jared Lester.
Go
Abram Mead, magna cum laude. Christy A. Reed, cum laude. William L. Saunier. Philip Spencer. Jamie S. Taylor. Associate of Applied Science in General Technology, Cody Cranford, cum laude. Associate of Applied Science in Health Information Technology, Marcia Lynette Earls, magna cum laude. Brittany Nicole Miller, cum laude. Associate of Applied Science, Registered Nursing, Tara R. Cunningham. Tim G. Davidson. Jeremy Leonard West, magna cum laude. Technical Certificate, Early Childhood Education, Crystal Bandit. Melody N. Cranford. Technical Certificate, Licensed Practical Nursing, Kimmy Jaime. Daniel Lopez. Catherine L. Mars. Generose Powell. Mary Beth Shatley. Gay Sisk. Certificate of Proficiency, Early Childhood Development, Shayna Brianne Hepler. Certificate of Proficiency, Pre-Health Sciences, Tracy L. Post. Certificate of Proficiency, Certified Nursing Assistant, Patricia Irene Brown. Courtney Cheyenne Croy. Casey Lucinda Daling. Kaylee Joe Guthrie. Brittany Annette Lambert.
Will all graduates please rise? Will the 2016 graduating class of Ozarka College please move your tassels from the right to the left as graduates of Ozarka College? Congratulations. They did it. Everyone who helped could be very proud. Would everyone please rise for the recessional? Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the ceremony today. Please join us for refreshments in the Student Services Center. That's the only two-story building on campus located behind the Miller Building. We hope you enjoyed the ceremony. We hope, like we are, we're very proud of these graduates. We know you are. So hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much for attending.